Good morning, everybody. Again, my name is Bill Bowman, and I am the president of Kidsville News Incorporated, and also the publisher of Up and Coming Weekly, which is my real job. Okay, this is my real job, better known as the oldest paper boy in Fayetteville. But I really appreciate the opportunity that FTCC has given me and you folks with the 1 Million Cups program, because it's extremely beneficial, and I'm very proud to be here. But what we're going to do today, we're going to talk about Kidsville News, and we educate the nation's children. And I'm going to talk to you about what our mission is, what our mandate is. Then I'm going to talk to you about what the business model is. So if you're a business person looking at business models, and then we're going to tell you how people are successful in building business with this particular product here that started here in Cumberland County. I am an entrepreneur by nature. I created this community newspaper 20 years ago. This is our 20th year. We're celebrating our anniversary of being the only community newspaper ever to be here in this community, and basically doing what entrepreneurs do, and that's filling a niche. Kidsville News, how many of you have children? How many of you recognize Kidsville News? You should, because for the last 17 years, it has been going every month to every K through 6th grader in public, private, Christian, and parochial schools in this county and in Hope County. All right? The homeschoolers, Cumberland County Libraries take care of them, and Kidsville News is actually located in over 300 locations across the county every month, and we've been doing it for 17 years. FTCC is also a supporter and sponsor of Kidsville News. So, I'm going to tell you, Kidsville News, all right, we started in 1998 to fill a need. Who wants to guess what that need was?
Educational resource. Kids.
All right, but what was the real need? Literacy. Children cannot read. They couldn't read back in 1998, and guess what? They still can't read. All right, so there is a built-in demand for this product, and we fill that need. Okay, we wanted to create a free publication that would go out to every child K through 6th grade, so they would have a resource. And the reason we said K through 6 in this model is because if you have children, you know, if you're going to teach them anything, if you're going to change their hearts, change their mind, you got to start when they're young. You're not going to be able to wait until they're in middle school. You got to start young, and that's what we wanted to do in having literacy education in the school, and we wanted them to have the resources for it. So when people are asking me, what is Kidsville, we made it real easy for them. It's an educational resource, all right, in a newspaper format. That's what Kidsville is. It looks just like this, and they get it every month. And there's an electronic version that the teachers can use to download worksheets, throw it up on a whiteboard. All right, this is over $250,000 in kind to our community every month, and it's brought to the community by people that care about education and care about children, institutions like FTCC. All right? Our mission and our mandate involves these 4 vital components, okay? Kidsville News is an educational resource. It's an interactive, fun guide for the child that they can interact with. We have an icon for literacy and education. He's a 6-foot dragon. His name is Truman, all right, who visits schools, libraries, hospitals, okay? But he actually is the icon for literacy and education, all right? We also are audited, and we have readership surveys. And the reason that's important is because our sponsors, our partners, that make this possible, they want to know who's getting it, how long it stays in the home, who's reading it, all right, where it is, how many we're printing. So we give them all that information so they can truly use it to help them get the message out about their business or organization. Okay, here are all of the parts of Kidsville News. And the reason this is important is because this program that we started in 1998 was in Cumberland and Hope County, Fort Bragg only until 2005, okay? But when 2005 rolled around, the demand was so high for free literacy and educational resources, we started letting other people do it. So before we could roll it out and let other people do it, we had to make sure we had all of our ducks in a row. So we actually took an inventory of what makes up Kidsville News, and this is what makes up a whole educational initiative. It has a website, it has Truman, it has an electronic version. It is aligned with the North Carolina Common Core standards, okay? Kidsville News has been used 14 times in the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction year-end testing for 4th graders. And we just signed another agreement to allow them to use it for the next 4 years. And the reason that is important, so you can realize the credibility and the prestige that Kidsville has, not only in this state, but in several other states, as I'm going to show you. We do have a national foundation that supports Kidsville. We have won 2 National Parents' Choice Awards. We have a unique concept, as I'm going to tell you about in a moment. We do readership surveys. We have electronic online edition. We are now 17 years old, and all this is rolled up into one package because this is our brand. Okay, this is our brand, and we don't want anybody messing with our brand. We created it, we own it. Okay, we own Kidsville, we own the concept, we own the content, we own Truman, we own it all. So we don't want anybody messing with it. Okay, it's called quality control. Not that they would try. Okay, so anyway, literacy is our mission. Okay, and that's how we have developed this program, and we compared it to the National Association for the Education of Young Children, and we found that their top 8 standards for getting a child to read and our top 8 missions were exactly the same. So basically, what am I saying? I'm saying that we were successful in spite of ourselves. All right, all we were trying to do was the right thing for the right reasons, and it happened to be the right formula, all right? That was very encouraging for us, all right? This is 2009. This is the basis of our program here. 24% of children cannot read their grade level. That's pathetic, okay? So in upgrading this, I said, well, wait a minute, that's a 2009 standard. Let's get this thing upgraded. So we went to 2013, and look, it got worse. Why do you think it got worse?
The testing
Anybody?
changed.
Pardon me?
Testing changed. Common Core.
Common Core got worse.
Video games.
Online, social media,
Video games is the reason my kid reads.
several reasons. Those are correct. Number one, educational resources on the federal, state, local level are being cut. There's no resources in the schools for the children to read. They are not, okay, they're online way too much. And tests have shown that comprehension online is nowhere near comprehension when you read it right out of a book or a document. All right? So it's actually getting worse, okay? And it's sad to have a product that has to deal with this need, but it definitely is a huge concern in the industry. Okay, now, because you got businesses in here and you got entrepreneurs in here, one thing I want to stress about this program is I'm talking to you about the product and the concept. okay? But this is a business, because in 2005, when we started allowing other people to do it, okay, we licensed it out, and we licensed it as opposed to franchise. I want you to get this concept today. All right, there's a big difference. When we license them the rights to do Kidsville. We show them how to do it, we give them the concept, we give them the content, but it's their business, okay? It's their business, all right? It's not we're a franchise and, you know, you get a turnkey job and they open up a storefront and all that. That's not what we do. We qualify them, and once they're approved to do it, we show them how to do it, and then we turn it over to them. It is their business. It's their business plan, and it's their job to be successful in it, okay? Now, we have a dog in the fight because we want to make sure they're successful, so we cover ourselves by making sure we vet these people before we allow them to do it. But if you got a business, you're going to have to be flexible. If you're an entrepreneur, you can't set your sights going one way and think that the market and everything is going to stay the same entirely, because once it changes, you're going to be in bad shape. You not agree with that? So you got to be versatile, and you got to be thinking that way. Here's a good example. When I started letting other people do Kidsville News in 2005, I went strictly with the newspaper industry. That's who I allowed to do it, because they were naturals. They could publish it in their communities, okay? Here in 2008, we were in 45 counties, and that's how we licensed Kidsville, by county, all right? Think of the potential. 45 counties, and our circulation was 1.4 million with 45 counties. There are 3,145 counties in the United States. I would say this is a pretty good trend, would you not think? Okay? Except for one thing, okay? I was with the newspaper industry. Does anybody know what happened to the newspaper industry in 2008? In 2009, it tanked. I mean, we lost over half of our publishers. We lost more than 500,000 in circulation. I mean, we could have been practically devastated, because in 2008, our circulation was more than Boys Life magazine, Nickelodeon Junior, which is out of business, Highlights, you already know Highlights, okay? Sports Illustrated Junior, and we were only in 45 counties. So you could think we were riding pretty high, okay? But it all changed in 2008. In 2010, we didn't even open, 2009 and 2010, we didn't even open a publisher anywhere. That's how bad it was, okay? So we had to redo ourselves, because 85% of every publisher was a newspaper, community newspaper, daily newspaper. The other 15% were people like yourself, entrepreneurs, okay? They were people that looked at Kidsville and said, shoot, I can do this, okay? And they took Kidsville and they started their own businesses, and very, very successful. Well, let me show you what happened. I changed the model, because the business right here, this shows you where we are right now. And this all happened in the last 2 years, when I realized that if Kidsville was going to survive, we had to change the model. Now, between community newspapers and daily newspapers, we got 36% from 85% are newspapers. And look at this, 64% are independent entrepreneurs. People that said, I can do that. You know, I can have my own educational publishing business. All right? So we switched it up real quickly, and now we're on a growth mode, but a completely different model. So if you're an entrepreneur in this room and you're thinking how to get your business, make sure you give yourself a lot of leeway, okay? Little bit of history here to give you an idea. This is what we looked like in 2005. We were in 2 states. We had 3 publications with an 80,000 circulation. And today we are in 11 states with 26 publications in 32 counties. And look at this, 600,000 circulation and growing. What was it in 2008? 1.4 million. So we're on the way up now, rebuilding the model, okay, and successfully, and we're very happy with the progress. Okay, Kidsville News, because of the nature of the publication, it has to go to every child. When we license Kidsville News into a county, if it has 32,000 children, every child has got to get Kidsville News. Every school has got to get a copy for every child. That's part of our program. Okay. Now, see these clusters? This is the way Kidsville grows, because it's in one county, then it rolls to the next county, then it rolls to the next county. All right? So that's the way it develops. And the 445 development program is how I built this business, and you guys can use this for your businesses. First one is the guiding principles of commitment. The second four are the components that you have in your business to make it successful. And the 5 was all the unique aspects of our business or your business. Okay? Okay. The first 4 on commitment is extremely important. What is it? There you go. All right? Because these principles of commitment have got to be present if you're going to build a business from scratch. Okay, you got to be committed to your concept. You got to be committed to the community. You got to be committed to your cause. In this case, it's education. And then you got to be committed to your customers. In this case, boy, I tell you, this thing is something else.
Do you want me to come help you, Bill?
I may need some help. Okay, now,
Don't touch the
get
board.
too close to it. What I want you to get out of this is, okay, you got a great idea, you got a great business, okay, but you got to focus over here on building and growing your business, okay. Utility sells, purpose sells, okay, value sells. That's your business. Concepts in your head don't sell, okay. Just because you think it's great or your grandmother told you it was great, you got to fulfill these needs here before you can have a successful business, and that's exactly what we did with Kidsville News. Then you define what's unique about your business. Ours was an educational resource, an activity center, but more importantly, ours was a conduit to the community. Because the people that are supporting Kidsville not only believe in literacy, believe in children, believe in education, but Kidsville News carries their message to the heart of the community. Because if you've got a child in your household from ages K through 6th grade, you know, you're working, carrying them to soccer practice, baseball practice, all that. You know, you don't have time to watch TV or even listen to the radio and stuff, but you do have time to spend with your child reading. So the people that support this business model are wanting to be a part of it and get their message out to that target demographic, which is between 24 and 54 years old, okay? And it's all about 12 for any business, because if you're concerned about your return on your investment, you've got to look at it over the long period. So I tell everybody it's all about 12. And that is, you've got to market and develop your program all year long if you want it to be profitable, okay? If you want to build something that's going to last for a long time, you've got to market it, promote it, advertise it, and develop it, network it for the entire 12-month period, year after year after year, especially in this community. Okay? In our particular case, the Kidsville News product that we have in this county reaches 26% of the total population every month. Okay? And that gives you another idea why it's been around for so long with the messages of our clients. We work in developing our brand. I think the ladies from Women's View told you what your brand was, who you are, what you stand for. And last, this is where our business comes from. Medical institutions, museums, educational institutions are 16% of where our partners come from. You got utility companies. Why do you think utility companies, what does that do?
Don't
You
touch
just
the
touch
board,
it? Why? You just touch it? Anyway, why do you think, this is good, now this is good. All right, this is ACS, everybody's familiar with ACS, I ain't gonna touch it. All right, ACS and the power company, two good examples. Why do you think they've been supporting Kidsville for 17 years?
For future customers.
Pardon me?
Oh,
Each one of these have a mission and a mandate in themselves, okay? Your business has a mission and a mandate. Steve is to prepare people for disasters and protect their belongings. Pam, yours is to help them promote their business. Once you determine what the mission and the mandate is of the organization, then you can address it. For instance, PwC has a mission and a mandate to educate adults, children, and teachers about the proper uses of electricity and water, okay? So what better way to do it than supporting a literacy education program? ACS, Army Community Services, reaches all the families of those young people, right? But they got a problem. How do I get to them? Well, they use Kidsville because Kidsville is delivered directly to their children and they bring it home. So once you determine what the, it works sometimes, doesn't work other times. Once you determine what the mission and mandate is, okay, you can start building your business. Then you surround yourself with components that help you magnify your mission and your mandate. Right? And then you seek critical mass in your community, which means that you get involved with your community, you network your product and your brand. And then what happens is you end up with a good literacy program and a business that you can be proud of. Now, I'm very proud of Kidsville News because it started right here in Cumberland County because people saw the need and they helped do it. Once we fine-tuned the model with a strong business plan, it was easy to roll it out across the country. All right? This grows slowly because this is not my main job. My main job is with Up and Humming Weekly, okay, which is every week is something, okay? Every week is something. But we respond to people who want to bring this to the community. All the principles that we use to build Kidsville News and to make 26 other businesses in 11 states successful are the same principles that you will use to be successful in your business or your organization. So that's the Kidsville story. I could go on for a long, long time talking about the accomplishments of Kidsville, but we're very, very proud to be calling Cumberland County home. We're very proud that FTCC has been a partner with us for years and years and looking for many more. So, with that being said, questions? Yes, ma'am.
You were talking about licensing. Did you have to get all this trademark copyrighted before you got licensed? What's the process for that?
I did. Well, I am an LLC for this, and we own all the trademarks, all the licensing, and everything for that. And to license it, you just go to attorney, draw up your licensing agreement. But yes, we do own everything that you see here.
How long did it take for the process of trademarking?
Well, it depends on your attorney and things like that, but it's something that everybody should do if they have something of value, so somebody don't rip it off. Good question. Any other questions, Greg?
If somebody approaches you and says, I want to start Kidsville News in my county, and somewhere in the state, what do you look for in figuring out, are they a good match for what you're
We've got the perfect vetting system. It has never failed us. What we have is about a 6-step vetting process. They call us up and they say, hey, I got a copy of Kidsville and we'd like to put it in our community. Then the process starts right then. They got to provide us the population of the county, the number of children in elementary schools, K through 5th grade. They've got to provide us the number of elementary schools in that county. So they have to send that information to us, okay? Then once we have it, okay, we will acknowledge that we have it. We'll interview them again. We'll do a pro forma for them, a business plan. They'll have to sign a confidentiality statement. Then we'll send it all to them. They will read it, okay? And then we will have what's called a qualifying interview, because we know what questions they should be asking us. And if we don't hear those questions, then that tells us they may not be right for it. Not everybody who wants to do Kidsville would be successful doing it. That's it. You understand what I'm saying? So, and we don't want their money. We want their success. We're licensing this, okay? We don't make any money off of that until they publish, okay? All right, and then they're just purchasing from us the concept and the content every month, okay?
Bill, is there any mechanism for if a national company had an educational product they wanted to put in all 600,000 issues? Is there a mechanism for that? Do you have to contact them individually?
No, we can do that, Don, and we have a provision for that, but we don't do it yet for a couple reasons. First of all, 600,000 circulation is a lot, okay? However, when you're talking about people that would want to do national advertising with Kidsville News, 600,000 is nothing, okay? You know, they don't want to be in 11 states, they want to be in all 50 of them, you know what I'm saying? So we don't pursue it. We're more successful with selling regionally, like Kidsville News is in Robeson County, Hope County, Lee County, Harnett County, New Hanover, Brunswick. It's easier for us to sell those counties because they're all clustered together. All right, but we do have a mechanism. If somebody called and said, we want to do that, if we accepted them as a client. Because again, when you're going through the school system, you better have your ducks in a row now, because there's all kinds of scary stuff out there when you're putting your publication through the school system. So we got to be very, very careful about what goes in there. And we don't mess with that. And when in doubt, leave it out. Okay? Any other questions?
I don't have a question, Bill, but coming from past lives as a testimonial, Kidsville News is such a unique vehicle to get your word out about your company. I found it really great. One of the things that, depending on where you're coming from, community service is really important to myself and the organizations that I work for. So again, we're filling a need that's important, that our children can read it, so that, you know, when they get older, they can get jobs and they can take care, they can make good decisions and vote and do those things. But on the other side of the house, as a company giving money to advertise, especially in this county that has more children than any other county in North Carolina, thinking that you're getting to all the parents of those children, there's no other way of doing that, because the thing is, it's consistent. And one of the things that was easy for me was that ad wasn't every week. It was once a month. So I could put something in there that would be, you know, there for a month, and it wasn't such a burden on me of getting it done. I just thought it was such a unique win-win situation, that you're doing something good on one hand, but you're also helping your business because you're with an organization that is going to all these parents that are actively a part of the economy.
But but you had the documentation to show you that.
Yeah.
I mean, you had it there in black and white, which is a big problem with a lot of marketing and advertising.
Right.
You know, you really don't know where it's going, but you're absolutely right, and thank you very much for that. Yes, ma'am?
I guess I'm just curious, I don't have children, so I've never seen the publication. What other reasons would a community subscribe or apply to subscribe to the Kidsville publication? I mean, other than for the good of the children in the community.
Oh, it's a business. No, it is a business. Okay, now, it's not our business, because when we started Kidsville, we started it as a newspaper and education program for our newspaper. Okay, this is where we make our money. However, in these other 11 states, this is the business. This is their business. This is how they make their
Yeah,
money.
but the other point of that is, and I've done it as an advertiser and as a sponsor, that your name is on there all the time. And if you want to build credibility, for instance, as an educational institution, I'm supporting the page that is about, what kind of job can I get in the future? What does an accountant do? Whatever it would be that month. I'm connected to that. So my business, those people are seeing that my business, and again, that's a feel-good feeling that, so-and-so is that, I'm gonna work with them or whatever.
And what grades or age range?
This is K through 6th grade. Okay, now, to your point, okay, well, K through 6. Now, there's another reason that this product is unique. Now, think about it. Here is a paper that intrigues a kindergartner, but still will get 11, 12-year-old to read, okay? That's unique. But this is a business. Is it a business that addresses literacy? Yes. Is it a business that addresses education and quality of life and character development? Yes, yes, yes. Are we a nonprofit? No. We're a business. Okay? The only reason there was a national foundation set up for this is because there were businesses and corporations that wanted to give money to it, but they couldn't because their foundation would only allow them to give money to another foundation. That's the only reason. But this is a business, okay? So, well, I don't know. Well, I mean, if you were a nonprofit, I said, really? All right. Do you think that Nickelodeon Junior is a nonprofit, or Weekly Reader is a nonprofit, or Highlights? They're all businesses. They're all businesses, and the reason you make money is to perpetuate the initiative. Okay, and these are all of our sponsors here, and they know, okay, that their money is going one place, and they have to put these in the hands of the children, and they get to use it as their own. This paper belongs to them. Yeah.
I have a question about the state of North Carolina now. I've had the joy of living in 4 different counties. I've seen it in every single county that I've lived in. So I can definitely speak to...
In North Carolina?
In North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a big part of what was sent home in kindergarten and first grade in Orange County. Saw it in New Hanover County. I've seen it in Pitt County. I've seen it here. I didn't even know that it originated here. I just thought Kidsville News was just something that every kid got. However, I mean, I just
Like Weekly Reader.
yeah, I just thought, the school somehow subscribed to something, and it was just another one of those things.
Yeah.
Except for the PTA didn't ask us for money for it. Which was However, what if I, as a business, wanted to advertise across the state in the publication, not just in the region?
Yeah.
How does that work?
We have a program for that.
Okay.
We do. We have a program for that. We have a program for national. But again, Pam used the word advertise. It is, but really, there are placements in here because every one of these placements have a mission or mandate in themselves. Okay? I mean, and we vet these people, and on our audits and surveys, with Up and Coming Weekly, 76% of the people who read this publication use the advertisers, okay, and the people they see in it. 76, which is remarkable. In here, it's 86, because it's an educational resource. So there ain't nothing in there
I mean, I've read it cover to cover more times than I can count.
Oh, adults love it. Adults love it, teachers love it. Anything else?
I have the last question, Bill. What can the community do for you?
What can they do for me?
Yeah, what can they do for you?
What they can do for me is, number one, read my newspaper. No. No, what the community already does for us is they're talking about the resources that we have available. Specifically, if you know someone that wants to have a business or looking at businesses, they're living in another state, they're living somewhere far away or whatever, this is a great business model. It really is. It's an awesome business model. It comes turnkey with everything already done to it. You know, the website, the automatic subscriptions, the worksheets, the audits, everything is all included in one low monthly licensing fee. 70% of all of our licensees that publish more than one county. And the reason is because it's too easy not to. Some have 3 and 4 counties, okay? But we've got people that are successful that started their business on a credit card, okay? Because we don't want any money up front. We don't ask for commissions or franchise fees or management fees. The money that they use to start this is their own, okay? But they have got to do it. We're going to show them how, but then they have got to be successful doing it. So just tell people about it. We've opened up publishers in Iowa that picked up a paper in San Antonio. So if they've got a passion for literacy, education, children, whatever. Matter of fact, can we give, Carla, can we give everybody a pack? These are all of the publications that we do here. Every one of these publications, they're called publications of purpose. And that's real important for you guys to know. Up and Coming Weekly is 20 years old. Kidsville is 17 years old. That little pocket guide you see there is 15 years old. All right? Believe me, if there wasn't a need for these publications, they would not exist in this community. So with that, to Mara, thank you. Excuse me.
Program?
Oh, thank you. FTCC is partnering with Express Employment Professional and Up and Coming Weekly, just pass it out, to have on April the 15th, folks, look over here. This is a full day of leadership, motivation, and development. The entire day, from the continental breakfast that starts at 8 o'clock to the cocktail reception at 5 o'clock, is all free. All you need to do is register at refreshleadership.com/live. The whole day is free. These are our 3 speakers, okay, that are going to be on in the morning. You got Damon John from the Shark Tank, Dan Aykroyd, better known as the Ghostbuster, okay, and Liz Murray, who wrote the book Homeless to Harvard. Great speakers, okay. The whole day is free. The only thing, if you want to attend Denise Ryan's leadership luncheon, there's a charge for that. But other than that, the whole day is free, and we invite you all to come. And again, we thank FTCC, who was the first institution to step up and say, hey, we're going to support this. This is something really, really good. So if you've got employees, you've got staff, you got people that need leadership development training, this would be a great way to provide them that training. Again, Cindy, thank you very much. Mara, thank you very much.